Hi, my name is Nasika Royale, and if anything I share today blesses you, challenges you, or helps you grow, please make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so we can continue walking this journey together. So today, I want to talk about what we don't always connect, and that's our habits and our behavioral health. We don't usually put those two together when we're thinking, in the moment of when something is actually happening. Because a lot of us are praying for healing, praying for peace, praying for clarity, wanting to do what we want to do what we want to do, when we want to do it, but we're still holding on to the same habits that are keeping us stuck. And we're gonna have to be honest with ourselves if we want to move forward onto that straight and narrow path, okay? Not everything is something that just happened, We like to use that excuse like, oh, this just happened, things happen, I was just flowing with whatever happened. To us, some of it is what we're continuing to allow. And we have to call it out, to cut it off completely, for it to never return again. To have our standards and boundaries be intact at all times and not making excuses for when things arise. Because your habits shape your behavior and your behavior shapes your life. That brings me to a scripture that says in 1 Corinthians 15:33, and let me get it. Okay. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33, and it reads, "Be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners." So we want to keep that in mind. We have to, because be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners, meaning what you're around, what you entertain, what you constantly engage in, it will shape you whether you realize it or not. So you can't say you want peace, right? But you're constantly around chaos. That doesn't make sense. You can't say you want clarity, but your habits are confusing your mind. You can't say you want to grow, but you're still doing the same things that set you back. You said you didn't want to do this particular thing anymore, but you still do them because I can't just change overnight. You're in your head. I'm trying. I'm doing the best that I can. It's not easy. But yeah, I gotta go be with this particular person that helps me entertain my old habits. Does that make sense?
No.
No. Because healing requires change. You must change. We all must change. One thing we have in common is change. Because whether we realize it or not, we change. We grow old. 1 minute we're here, the next we're gone. 1 minute we're skinny, next minute we're fat. 1 minute we're fat, the next minute we're skinny. We're gonna change. So why not allow your mind to be that change? Why not? Your mind is with you forever. Healing requires change, period. And a lot of the time, we don't want to admit that. I don't know why. We want the results, but we don't want the discipline. We want outcome, but we don't want to let go of what's comfortable. But comfort can be dangerous. It can really be dangerous when it's tied to dysfunction, because you can get so used to certain behaviors that they start to feel normal, even when they're not healthy for you.
Message.
You can be in environments that drain you, habits that confuse you, patterns that hurt you, and still say, this is just how I am. But that's not growth. That's staying stuck. Scriptures say in Proverbs 4:23, let me get it for you. Anytime anybody wants to tell you about a scripture, let them pull it out and show you and you read it for yourself. Don't just go off of my word. Read it for yourself. That's just a side note. Okay. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Let me read that again, because I think this scripture is like one of the best scriptures ever. Again, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Just a moment of silence to let that sink into your head. Because seriously, this means a lot. Okay, so let me break it down. What you allow into your heart, what you allow into your mind, your spirit, it will show up in your life in different moments, in different times. So if your habits are off, your behavior will reflect that. It will. You'll rationalize, you'll compromise because you want to please that behavior, that old thing. If your behavior is off though, your life will always be off and it will reflect that. It will. And then we start saying we're overwhelmed, we're anxious, we're frustrated. I don't know what to do. But we're not checking what we're feeding ourselves daily. Yes, people change, but do they? Most of the time they don't. Most of the time people stay the same and things around them change, but they stay the same. Mentally, we're talking about. Because behavioral health is not just about what you feel, it's about what you consistently do. It's about your patterns. It's about your routines. It's about what you allow yourself to engage in when nobody is watching. Because let's be real, you can be saying you want better, but still entertaining people you know you shouldn't be around. Still entertaining things you shouldn't be doing. You can say you want to heal, but you're still going back to the same conversations, the same habits, the same cycles. You can say you want clarity all day, but you're not creating the space to actually hear from the Most High, to hear, to have clarity, to see things clearly. And then we wonder why we feel stuck. But the truth is, you can't heal in the same old habits that broke you, that keep you down, that keep you stagnant, that make you stumble. At some point, something has to give, something has to change. And that's where discipline comes in. That's where self-control comes in. That's where being honest with yourself comes in. Because real growth requires you to let go of what's familiar. And when I say let go, I mean for real, let go. Even when it feels uncomfortable, you feel like you're missing out on something. And I know that's not always easy. I get it, but it's necessary, especially if you're not strong enough to have boundaries around it. It's just something that is weak. It weakens you. If it weakens you, you can't be around it. Because the longer you stay in the same patterns, the longer you delay your own healing. And what do we want? Healing, real healing, because that brings real peace. Yeah! And this is not about being perfect as you get to this place of peace. This is about being intentional, though. Calling yourself out when you have to, when you need to. Having an accountability partner is key too. Somebody you can really trust to keep you and uphold you to what you said your standards are and keep you there when you start to drift away. This is about asking yourself what in my life, right, is actually helping me grow and what is quietly holding me back. Because at the end of the day, your habits are either building you or breaking you. There is no in between. There is no in between. So if this really makes you think what I'm saying today, I need you to sit with this and think about this deeply. Sit with it, examine yourself, because we're all still growing, we're all still learning, and we all have habits we need to check immediately. Okay? We need to check yesterday. So, if anything I shared today gave you something to think about, feel free to share your thoughts respectfully in the comments below. And if this conversation blessed you or challenged you, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and turn on your notifications so we, again, can continue walking this journey together. May the Most High continue to bless you, and I'll see you in the next video.